Okay, students, this is chapter number 15, Ecology, Relationship of Organism with One Another and with the Environment. In today's lesson, we will see different effects of human activities on the ecosystem. We will see what is deforestation and what are the consequences of it. We will also see what causes and affects air pollution. We will also see acid rain, smoke, global warming, and chlorofluorocarbons, which are also written as CFCs. First, let's see what deforestation is and what are the consequences. Deforestation is actually the removal of forest. Why forests are removed? There are multiple reasons for this. First of all is urban development. Whenever new housing schemes are to be made or new houses are to be made, the land is to be cleared of forests to get the land. Industrialization is one of the other reasons. Cultivation and agricultural purposes also require the land for which the forests are removed. Overgrazing can also lead to deforestation. Timber industry use wood from forests for construction purposes, for furniture making, for paper industry, and wood is also used as fuel. Fibers, some of the crops are used for textile industry to make synthetic clothes or synthetic fibers. Now we will see the consequences of deforestation. Leafy canopy protects the soil from direct effects of strong winds and heavy rain. Roots hold the soil and release the water slowly. If forests are removed, the most fertile topsoil may be washed away. This is also called as sheet erosion or soil erosion. What happens is this, that if you have forests, the canopy of the trees will protect the land from the direct effect of rain and intense winds, while on the other hand, the roots of the trees will hold the soil together. It will slowly release the water which is coming with the rain. But if you will remove the forest, what would happen? That there is no canopy left to protect the land from the harmful effects of strong winds and intense heavy rainfall. So what will happen? That the wind or the rainfall will carry the topmost sheet of the soil, which is the most fertile one, with it to the nearby water reserves. And not only this will affect the land, but also will increase the level of water in the water reservoirs. It may be lakes or rivers. Roots are not there to hold the soil, so soil too would get into the water reserves. Next consequence of deforestation is gully erosions. Gully erosion happens when small channels are widened and get deepened because of the water on the surface. Heavy rainfall flows down hillsides in small channels, which slowly widen and deepen as more soil is washed off, forming gullies. If you see in the diagrams, I have shown you that how small channels have become so widened and deepened because of the soil being washed away with the heavy rainfall. Next consequence of deforestation is flooding. In the previous slide, I told you that whenever there is rain, it washes away some of the soil with it. Whenever there are intense winds also cause the soil or the land to be eroded, and they are carried into nearby water reserves, raising the level of water there. Not only this, that they sometimes also block the flow of water. So when these two things happen, it will ultimately lead to flooding. Flooding happens when the block of water flow is there or when the level of water is increased. The other consequence of deforestation is the formation of desert-like conditions. This is called desertification, when a normal fertile land is converted to desert. This not only affects the land but also the habitats which are living there, for example the plants there or animal. When you will disturb their ecosystem, both plant and animal living there would be affected and even can become extinct. it not only harm their species but also harm us in a way that maybe some of those plants would have been giving us some cure for different diseases. If you know it, that many plants are able still now, they are able to give us some cure for different diseases. For example, quinine, which was anti-malarial drug. Now, many trees or plants are still under research so that they can be used as cure for different diseases. So, but if desertification happens, plants would die and they won't be of any medicinal value to us. Removing forest also cause imbalance of oxygen and carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. If you know that by photosynthesis, plants were taking up carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. So when there would be no forest or trees, there would be imbalance in these two gases. Accumulation of carbon dioxide will lead to global warming. You know, carbon dioxide traps radiant heat energy. It absorbs the radiations coming from the sun, ultimately increasing the normal temperature of the earth. Decreased rainfall is one of the major consequences of deforestation. When forests are removed, there is decreased rainfall, which will lead to drought in different areas. Now come to air pollution. Pollutants like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and oxides of nitrogen are among the pollutants, along with some heavy metals like lead, mercury, arsenic, and cadmium. All these are causing air pollution. Why air pollution happens? It is because of majorly of two reasons. Human activities, what we are doing, our vehicles, our industries, our factories are using coal, oil, gasoline, petrol, wood as their fuel source, and on combustion they release carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide majorly, and these gases are greenhouse gases. Natural events like biological decay, if you remember, decomposition causes the release of carbon dioxide. This is a natural event which is inevitable, which will happen all the time. Forest fires or bushfires, volcanic eruption, they also are the reason of release of different pollutants. Acid rain is also caused by air pollution. Acid rain is caused because of the release of sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen. These gases, when dissolved in rain, they form weak acids. Acid rain is caused. Acid rain dissolves aluminium salts in the soil that may be washed away into lakes and rivers, killing the aquatic life and makes the water unfit for consumption. These aluminium salts, when react with acid rain, they become soluble. They stay there in the water, not only affecting the aquatic life but also contaminates them, and on consumption by humans they can harm human as well. They also add nitrate content to soil, leading to eutrophication. I hope this is understood by all of you in our previous lessons. Sulfur dioxide irritates and damages sensitive lining of eyes, air passages and lungs, leading to different respiratory diseases. Smog is a common phenomenon. It is a combination of smoke and fog. Sulfur dioxide is the main component here. How it is formed, if you see in the diagram, the warmer air accumulates in the upper atmosphere of the earth. It acts as a lid for the cooler air beneath it. Accumulation of pollutants in this cooler air lead to formation of smoke. Smoke in higher concentration can lead to accumulation of different pollutants. Among these pollutants is lead. The accumulation of lead in the atmosphere can lead to many health problems in humans, leading to cramps, loss of control of hands and feet, coma, and even death. If you see in the diagram, I have shown you that cool air is being trapped by the warmer air. The cool air would accumulate the pollutants that are coming from industries or factories or vehicles, this cool air along with the smoke particles would form smoke. Next topic is of global warming. You know what global warming is? It is actually the increase in temperature, the normal temperature of Earth. If you see in the diagram, what happens is that carbon dioxide from the Earth accumulates and acts as a lid on the surface of the atmosphere of the Earth, and it does not allow the radiation of the sun to be reflected. In fact, it absorbs the heat energy or the radiant rays that are coming from the sun, ultimately increasing the overall temperature of the Earth. Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide from vehicles, industries, combustion of fossil fuels can also attach to hemoglobin in blood. Hemoglobin was the pigment, the red pigment protein which attaches oxygen with it. When there would be increased concentration of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, hemoglobin would attach to these gases and will lower the efficiency of hemoglobin to attach with oxygen. They may form a layer or blanket over the Earth's atmosphere, trapping the sun's radiation that lead to overall increase in the Earth's normal temperature. Increased temperature caused by global warming cause melting of iceberg. Students, remember that icebergs are actually the water reservoirs for us. They melt slowly to provide us with water. But when they melt at exponential rate, these water reservoirs are lost. Increased sea levels are also caused by warming of the Earth atmosphere. Floods too are caused by global warming. Last topic of today's lesson is chlorofluorocarbons. These are not toxic, unreactive chemicals that are used in aerosols, propellants, in deodorants and perfumes. They are also used as cooling agents in refrigerators and air conditioners, and also in foam packaging. What they do, that they are responsible for the breakdown of ozone layer. Ozone layer, you know, is a protective layer around the Earth's atmosphere which protect us from the harmful UV light from the sun. So when some chemical or some unreactive non-toxic chemicals are destroying ozone layer, they are allowing more UV light to penetrate the Earth's environment. These rays are the major cause of skin cancer.